All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. We are back again with another live stream, bringing you the latest in Chelsea news. We will, of course, do a little bit of the preview as well. There is a match that's coming up later tonight, UK time. Honestly, I can't be bothered doing these previews. They don't mean nothing to me, but we will talk about that. But it's a total chaos, ladies and gentlemen. It is a total chaos. There is news flying left, right, and center, and we've not even hit the transfer window as yet. This is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen with so many players wanting to leave, so many players rumored to potentially go X, Y, Z. There's now talks about Levi Colwill, which is getting interesting. I really want to talk about that with you guys, see how you guys feel about that. Obviously, yesterday was completely all about Mason Mount. We'll touch base on that because it seems like he wants to go to Man United. And we've got Man United coming up later on tonight, which is going to be very interesting to talk about. So obviously, we'll talk about Mason Mount. We'll talk about Kovacic. Apparently, Man United shortlisting Kovacic as well. So, yeah, and this is off the back of how it all started yesterday with Mykhailo Mudrik's crazy bit of news that came out. So, yeah, a lot to go through, ladies and gentlemen. As soon as you come through, smash the like button. It's going to be a spicy show. It really will be a spicy show. And I think from here on in, every bit of live stream, every single live stream we're going to have on this channel is going to be quite entertaining because news is going to be flying left, right, and center. And there's a lot of conversations that's in regards to our owner as well. So we're going to talk about Todd Bowley. We're going to talk about Igbali and lots to talk about. I think there were some comments in regards to Enzo Fernandez from Frank Lampard. So I want to touch base on that because Frank has some really, really high praise in regards to Enzo Fernandez. And I think it's going to be another interesting topic to talk about where I truly believe Enzo Fernandez, he's a leader. He's a leader. He's definitely going, he portrays leadership. He shows that, as Frank said, he understands. He gets what it takes to be a professional football player at Chelsea Football Club. So we want to touch base on that. Once again, kudos to each and every one of you guys. Big up to each and every one of you guys. Thanks for joining in. Shahzan saying we need some positivity. Miz, look, man, I don't just make positivity. If there's positive news to talk about, we'll talk about positive news. But I don't just formulate positivity, man. I mean, what's there to be positive? You let me know. We've got a match against Man United coming up. Do any of us expect us to win off the back of how we've been playing? No. So you can't really be positive about that. We've got all of these issues that's happening within our football club. J Money, Koulibaly available. Thank you, man. Thank you for the news. No need to spam for all the people that want to put out any chats. I can see you if you just type once. That's more than enough. Not having a go at you, J Money. That's just a general sort of comment that I wanted to put out. But yeah, positivity. Like, I can only be positive if there's some positive news that's floating around, and if there's a positive vibe that's floating around. Right now, there simply isn't. So it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen. First up, let's talk about the Levi Colwill conversation. It's just been floating around. Let's try and catch up on that. Let's see what we can make out of this. It is an interesting conversation to be had, and I've said it recently that, and we'll talk about Todd Bowley and Baghdadi Bali as well. Some mad comments coming from there as well. All right, first up, Chelsea don't want to sell Levi Colwill, but there is also concern within the club about his situation. He has 2 years left on his current contract. A new deal has been on the table for a while. So a new deal apparently has been on the table for a while, but he hasn't shown any desire to sign without assurances that he will play regularly next season. So bear all of these things in mind. This is coming from Andy Naylor, who covers Brighton FC. From the Athletic, so you'd want to take him somewhat seriously, that's for sure. Next bit of news in regards to Levi Colwill is Brighton have done a lot for me. They put their trust in me when others didn't, and I'm a person who loves to repay that. We'll see. This is where I get big. This is where I get concerned. This is where I start thinking, oh man, Levi Colwill, we better, man. Chelsea Football Club, we need to pattern up, man. We need to fix up our act big time. I swear to you guys, we have to fix up our act. No more silly purchases, no more gun-ho purchases, no more, sell this, buy this, sack that guy, sack this guy. Have a plan. Have a plan. Because in the midst of all of this chaos, you're going to potentially lose out on some of the really, really good players that you want to keep, right? And we'll talk about Mason Mount as well. As I've always said, some people, for certain reason, they think I hate Mason. I've got nothing against Mason Mount. Well, was there a need to hate him for? I think he's still a very, very good player. Is he a finished product player? No. But I think there is value in keeping him. Much like Levi Colwill, I feel like there is a massive, massive value in keeping him. But we need to have a plan. We need to set out a blueprint for every player. All of these 12-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds that we've been buying, we have to have a plan. No point in just getting these players and then just throwing them into the shelf and just allowing them to rot. See, this particular commentary from Levi Colwill, some of you guys may take it lightly, or he's just saying it because he brought... Man, I don't know if you guys have been hearing what Roberto De Zerbi has been saying. Roberto De Zerbi recently has been saying that I want to be able to keep Levi Colwill for another 2 to 3 years. Now it's up to him if he wants what he wants to do, and it's up to Chelsea. Roberto De Zerbi absolutely loves Levi Colwill. Have a look at some of Levi Colwill's performances for Brighton Football Club. Man, they are sensational. They are sensational. Look at the way Rio Ferdinand talks about Levi Colwill. I've seen it. Like, you don't need anyone to tell anything. Watch, and you can see he oozes confidence, man. But we have to have a plan. These players ain't going to just jump for Chelsea Football Club anymore. If anything, Levi Colwill probably feels that, you know what? Even though Chelsea is my home, my home club, they have not really shown any trust in me. Brighton, on the other hand, have shown trust in me. So how do we now get these players' trust back? Our board, our new manager will have to sit down. And this is why. You remember when we, and once again, caveat, I am not having a go at Buddy Shield. I think Buddy Shield is a good defender. That is something I'm okay to eat a humble pie on that. Because I didn't think Buddy Shield was a fantastic defender before he joined us. I think he's a very good defender. But if you guys remember, to all the originals out there, to all the OGs out there, I wasn't too keen on the Buddy Shield purchase because my thought was, well, we're going to get Levi Colwill down the track anyway. Because I knew Levi Colwill was a very good defender from his championship days. I watched some of the matches of Levi Colwill in the championship and he looked really good. And now we're in this conundrum where you got Levi Colwill, you got Buddy Shield, who's injured, but he should be apparently ready by the new season, start of new season. But the point I'm trying to get to is there has to be a plan. What was the plan? Getting Buddy Shield, and also now you want Levi Colwill. Obviously, Levi Colwill is going to think, I want assurances. Levi Colwill ain't going to come to Chelsea Football Club anymore to just sit on the bench. He starts for Brighton. Mind you, Brighton are going to be in Europa League next season. We don't have Europe. Do you understand? Like, Levi Colwill will be able to show his class, his quality in a European stage. And God knows where his future might go from there on. So we, as a football club, we must have a plan for Levi Colwill. We have to show him a blueprint where he is part of this football club in a major way. So it's there's a lot to think about. I can understand his confusion. Koulibaly, Badiashile, Chalobah, still got Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva probably one more season, but that's fine. So, do you know what I mean? Wesley Fofana. If we play with the 2CB style from next season under Pochettino, there's not many spaces left and we don't have Europe. Just something to think about, man. Something to think about. I don't know what is going to happen at Chelsea. I'm still here until the end of the season. I just focus on that. And then I've got the Euros under 21 European Championship with England in the summer. After that, we'll see what happens and we'll go from there. So, look, some very, very interesting comments coming out in regards to Levi Colwill. And last but not least, in regards to this, there seems to be a retweet. Halfway through an exclusive interview with The Athletic, Levi Colwill had to be reminded that he is in fact a Chelsea player. I forgot for a minute. Colwill chuckled. It makes me think, is our club actually contacting him on a regular basis, just keeping tabs with him, giving him congratulations that you've been performing well, your performance have been being noted? Are Chelsea Football Club keeping in touch? I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. Are they in touch? Because we've not been operating. We've not been operating in the right way. We've been operating in a very, very ridiculous manner. Let's take some of your comments. I don't blame him, Miz. We have disgraceful record of keeping our promises to young players we sign. Just see how we treated Chuku so far. Exactly. There you go. Levi Colwill don't need to tell us anything. We know. We have set a bad example, man. This is such a fantastic comment from In Life No Limits. Thank you, man. Look at what we've done with Chukwuemeka, man. Chukwuemeka was meant to be integrated in. And look what we've done with him. Do you think Chukwuemeka will start against Man United? Probably won't. Should have started against Man City. Got 10 minutes. Why would any young player see that and believe in us? No, true talk. Sam, big up Miz. Where would you realistically see Chelsea's position 1 to 20 for upcoming season under Poch? Also, any chance of us winning any title? I don't know where I see us. My expectation is at least 6th. My expectation is 6th. That's because of the shambolic season that we've had. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's a little bit about Levi Colwill. Now, I want to talk to you guys about our owners before we talk about Mason Mount and all of that. So wanted to cover the Levi Colwill story properly, which we have. We'll now swiftly move on to our owners. There's some really, really interesting comments coming out in regards to them. I want to start from the top. I think this is a good place to start. I think what Eric Ten Hag had to say, because obviously we've got Man United coming up, I think this is a very, very good position to start from. So we'll talk about what Eric Ten Hag had to say. Top dog, my man, good to see you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Apparently, one of Poch's key points during his presentation to Chelsea board was clear roadmap for Levi Colwill. Could it be maybe as a DM? Nah, look, I mean, I don't want to start experimenting. Look, first of all, fantastic. I hope there has been a good presentation and a roadmap for Levi Colwill. Very important. I think Levi Colwill should be one of the important players for us moving forward. As a DM, I've not seen him play as a DM. I'd rather him play as a left back. Left-sided centre back, because from that position, I think he could be very, very pivotal for us for build-up, for those line-breaking passes, for those long balls over. He's a proper ball-playing defender, man, and defensively, he's very good as well. So, look, I don't want to throw any sort of experiments at the moment on Levi Colwill. Happy to see him as a left-sided CB. But look, if Poch can turn him into a DM, why not? Why not? Okay, let's start from here. This is what Eric Ten Hag had to say about our owners and our takeover, because obviously they're going through a bit of a takeover situation. And this is what Eric Ten Hag had to say. Manchester United will not make same takeover mistakes as Todd Bowley's Chelsea. Eric Ten Hag is publicly mudding Todd Bowley. Publicly. I mean, this is the thing. Our owners listen and learn, my man. You are getting mudded publicly by rivals. And they're not even taking the piss. They're legitimately saying, you've messed up. You need to pattern up quick. When there is no strategy or not the right strategy, money doesn't work. Boom. It's simple as. You need to understand the industry. This isn't some of your, businesses that you run in the United States. This is European football. You can't just go out there and buy the best players and then just go, voila, or go out there and perform. It don't work like that, my man. You can't just come into an organization and decimate the entire structure, get rid of everyone that was part of Chelsea Football Club, that made Chelsea Football Club what it is and what it was, and then expect for it to just run very, very normally how it used to. No. You've made a wholesale of changes, and all of that has kind of backfired. And it's going to take a bit of time for it to work out. And Eric Ten Hag is correct. When there is no strategy or not the right... So you have to understand, no strategy or not the right strategy. Some might say, now, we did have a strategy. It might not have been the right one. Money doesn't work. Further goes on to say, in this moment, a centralization of good players, of the best managers, also the money is all here in the UK, and that makes a great competition, but also a tough and hard competition. You have to do the right things. You can have money, but you have to spend it in a smart way, and you need to have a strategy behind it. Otherwise, the money doesn't work. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, this upcoming summer, I don't want us to be stupid anymore. I really don't. Any super shiny toy out there, let's go and quickly get it. No. Calm yourself. What do we need? First of all, who do we need to get rid of? By the way, we still need to do that video. We'll do that live, hopefully sometime tomorrow, day after, whenever. Who needs to go? And they need to go pronto. Who are the players that are going to be key for the manager? Decide, build a backbone with those players. Then find out, where are the deficiencies in the team? Can some of these deficiencies be filled with some of the loanee players coming back or some of our academy players? If not, then go to the market. We shouldn't just be willy-nilly just running towards the market. Look at what you have within, and if it doesn't cut it, go to the market. And then when you do go to the market, Buy smart. Scout. Use your scouts. Chelsea Football Club. Why should clubs like Brighton, do you know what I mean? Even Man City with Julian Alvarez, this, that, the other. Why should these clubs, and I think Brighton is a fantastic example once again. Why should a club like Brighton be able to acquire top quality players better than us? We're Chelsea Football Club, man. We've got a lot more budget than them, a lot more resources than them. But they're smart. We're not smart. We're dumb. Scout. Scout and scout properly. Find the gems. And yes, in certain times when the gems are not there, okay. Scout a player like, for example, Declan Rice, for instance. Past 3-4 windows, you've been linked to Declan Rice and you've not made a move, right? And yeah, I'm a fan. I said no. A lot of you guys said no, but I'm no expert. And the first time when we kind of want a player like Declan Rice, he's now moving towards Arsenal Football Club. It's things like this, as just an example. And I know Declan Rice's situation might have been a bit difficult as well because West Ham won a lot of money. But this is what I'm trying to like for example, Ugarte as well. Ugarte now, apparently PSG is looking for Ugarte. I'll just quickly show you guys the news on Ugarte because we've just bumped onto that topic, I suppose. Understand, Paris Saint-Germain want Manuel Ugarte, his concrete target in the list. Terms of the deal have already been discussed, as Record reported today. Premier League clubs are also in the race, but PSG are well informed on Ugarte and spoke to the players' camp. The message that I was trying to give is that scout, build something, and go for the player. None of this, chaos and erratic way of planning and operating. Have a sensible way of building a squad. Okay? So that's a little bit about Erik ten Hag talking about us. Let's now showcase the next news. Highly rated former Liverpool sporting director Michael Edwards met Chelsea's hierarchy and would have been willing to accept their proposal had it not been for family commitments this year. Do you know what? Michael Edwards, he's done all right for not taking this job for the time being. It would have been a mad chaos, as we saw this season, how it transpired. So hopefully when things can settle down, we can then maybe go after someone like Michael Edwards. Todd Bowley wanted to be the central figure in driving both Chelsea and the Premier League forward. He played a leading role in signings last summer, and the unusual involvement of an owner in this was intoxicating to some players. Bowley handed out his personal phone numbers and he invited people to his luxurious private villa on the opulent Greek island of Mykonos. Charm and flattery worked. See, I don't know. I don't know what to take of this particular news. I mean, I understand his involvement last summer. Yeah, not good. Rookie. But it was his first season. I mean, how much of this is true, intoxicating to some players? Obviously, as the season went on, I agree. There was some level of intoxication. But from the get-go last summer, yeah, I'm not really sure about how quickly that would have been intoxicating for some of these players. But of course, as I said, as the season panned out, the owners and their involvement in the dressing room, some of their involvement in public as well, going around in Real Madrid saying, "Oh, we're going to beat Real Madrid 3-0 at the Bernabeu," like things like that, and many other stuff. Um, Obviously, getting rid of people that were part of the football club. Obviously, these things would be intoxicating. But last summer, I don't know, man. I don't know. Do you guys agree? Do you guys agree that last summer, for some of these players, this would have been intoxicating? I'm not sure. See, this is where we have to sometimes filter out what is potentially true, what is not true. Yeah, Poch doesn't have magic wand to fix this squad. He needs so much time to turn it around. Agreed. And do you know what? I'm happy to give him time, but at the same time, he has to produce some level of performance. It cannot just be a free ride. But yeah, let's see what else is being said about our owners. Todd Bowley and Baghdad Iqbali have occasionally been on the sidelines during training sessions at Cobham. However, some players saw this as added pressure. See, this for me seems weak. Who cares if the owners are on the sideline? I mean, I guess in one sense you can say this is what happens when you have a lot of kids. This is what happens when you have too many less than 23 or less than 25-year-olds. Because the real men, they couldn't care less if the owners were in the sidelines. Who cares if the owners are watching? I'm just going to go about my job and go about my training and do it as well as I can. This for me seems a bit funny. Some players saw that as added pressure. Who cares if the owners are watching you? Go about your training session the way you do on a day-to-day basis. The owners they're just there to watch. Well, they can't even watch now. I can understand, don't go to the dressing room. That's where you build a relationship. That's a sacred place. That's where the manager builds a relationship with the players. And whatever happens in the dressing room stays in the dressing room. But in the training ground, the owners can come to the training ground, man. The owners can come and watch. It's their football club after all. And you're going to feel pressure. See, for me, this for me is weird. Absolutely weird. Let's see what you guys are saying. I've had enough with them meddling with training sessions. Some people don't want that. The owners, they can watch training, can't they? I personally believe they can. 100% they can. I would ask us to take a look at Newcastle. Look how they have slowly creeped up. We didn't need to do that. Now, you're right. Newcastle have done it perfectly, man. Absolutely perfectly. Young players like Colwill are not patient for Chelsea. He doesn't feel loyalty to Chelsea, his boyhood club. This is pathetic. It's a bit deeper than that, man. They themselves are just ungrateful. Mason Mount was playing every single game. So is Rice. Chuka has been given the opportunity, especially this season. Chelsea has used every player available. So what is it? Pascal saying Chelsea problem is she has purchased players that play the same way. When a player comes on, the game should change. Coaches should have a say, for example, that player fit the coach's system. I agree. Ms. Czech Chalobah's comment ahead of United game. He's a true blue. He shouldn't go. Look, I mean, I like Chalobah. I truly like Chalobah. I know a lot of people don't tend to like him, think he's got some flaws, this, that, the other. Yeah, there is flaws, but I think his overall quality is there and he can develop into a very, very good defender. But right now, if I'm being honest, he's surplus to requirement, man. He's seriously surplus to requirement. You want to keep Chalobah. You also want to keep Levi Colwill. This is the thing, man. This is the thing. We need to have a proper plan. We need to have a proper plan. Okay, so that's a little bit about Colwill, our new ownership, and what Eric Ten Hag had to say. I want to now share with you guys some of the comments Lampard made in regards to Enzo Fernandez, because I found that very, very interesting. Let's have a look at some of these comments. At the minute, we as a team have not been doing enough, in my opinion, playing forward and being more direct in our game, higher up the pitch, finding passes that really test the opposition. Enzo can play that pass, so being up the pitch is a good thing for him too. Now, see, I like how Lampard says all of these things, then why doesn't the team respond? Like, you say all of these things, but then why doesn't the team play higher up then? Who's in charge of that? Who's in charge of that? Surely, Lamps, you're in charge, right? If you want your team to play higher up, who's giving instructions? Why aren't they following your instructions? And if they're not following your instructions, why are you choosing them? I don't understand. I don't get it. If they're not following instructions, then why are you selecting them on a week-to-week basis? Lampard, Enzo Fernandez could play in probably all the midfield roles, but I think seeing him train and play and getting a feeling for him, he probably has more to offer than to be a single six. As much as he can play as a double six, where he can join into the game more. Yeah, look, he can definitely play a lot more advanced, but I don't necessarily think he should play as a number 10. I still like him to play, start from deep, transition from a 6 to an 8 to a 10, much like what he does for Argentina. For Argentina, he plays a little bit deeper and then he creeps up because Argentina creeps up as a team. He helps out in the build-up, so he's deeper. And as the game is progressing, as the phase of play is progressing, he'll go from a 6 to an 8, and then you'll finally find himself just outside the box or inside the box in a sort of like a 10 position. But for that level of play, we need proper coaching. We need proper game plan. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I agree. I agree with Lampard. He could potentially play a bit higher up. Lampard, and play as an 8 and offer the really good attributes he's got across his game. That's my personal opinion. I've not actually asked him that question because in my time here, it's been a fact that he's been the most natural 6 out of a midfield. There you go. Which doesn't have so many natural 6s, in my opinion. So that's where Enzo's played, and fair play to him. He's never once said to me that's not for him, because that's what his attitude's like, to do the best for the team. I love this. I love this. Keeps his mouth shut and gets the job done. There's too many players. Oh, yeah, I play out of position. Look at Man City, man. Pretty much all of their players, if you know, people that are so focused on formation, you'd say they all play out of position. I've said it for the past so many seasons. Don't worry about the formation. What is their role? What is their role with and without the ball? Because that will define where they need to be predominantly. Players need to be very dynamic now, man. Players need to be very dynamic. Look at the way Brighton plays, man. Brighton players are all over the place. Look at Levi Colwill the other day against Arsenal when Brighton spanked up Arsenal. Levi Colwill, without the ball, chased down Odegaard in Arsenal's final third, a left-sided CB. What position was he playing? I like this. I like this from Enzo Fernandez. For me, Enzo Fernandez, he's got the right attitude. Something that Michaela Mudryk, he needs to pattern up. Mudryk needs to pattern up. Use Enzo Fernandez as a role model. You can see it in the match as well. Enzo cares so much, man. He's frustrated. He's filthy because his level is he and his teammates are in the ground level. Enzo Fernandez is doing his level best to give us an upper hand, and all his teammates let him down. I've got a lot of faith that Enzo will be a big part of what happens here in the future of the club. Hey, man, I'm putting him down as a future captain, man. I swear to you, he's got that aura. I swear he's got that aura. But he needs an operational team around him. We cannot have all these, Mickey Mouse game plan. Frank is liable for some of these issues as well at the moment because of how he sets us up. But yeah, this is another thing. I love this quote here from Lampard. Enzo gets it. He gets what's required in training. He gets what's required to be a Chelsea player. He's got high talent himself. Some players just get it. When you work with someone, you understand it pretty quickly, and he gets it. I love that. Yeah, 100% he does get it. 100% he gets it. Top Dog RLG, thank you so much for the super chat. Once again, my man, players these days need to be able to adapt to what role is required for them. That's why it's so important for youngsters to get used to different roles, to advance different aspects of their game. Now, agreed. Agreed, brother. Brother, agreed. But yeah, that's a little bit about Enzo Fernandez. With Enzo, I've been impressed with him as a player, his attitude to train, his attitude to games, his determination, and something about him when he doesn't speak the language much at all, but he's learning fast. That's another brilliant thing. Mikhailo Mudryk, ladies and gentlemen, for me, as I've got a question mark, like not about his ability, more about his mentality and personality. He better pattern up. So a little bit of a recap before we touch on the Mason Mount situation, ladies and gentlemen. These are all the news that formulated yesterday. Big day of news. Just to give you guys a bit of a recap, Man United will launch a 55 million bid for Mason Mount from Sami Mokbel. Mount's current preference is to join Man United if nothing is agreed with Chelsea. This is from David Ornstein. Todd Bowley is stepping back in activity and will hand more responsibility to sporting directors. Fantastic news. Extension for Mount is unlikely, even with Poch efforts. This is from Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea a potential suitor for Keylor Navas, something we haven't touched, but Keylor Navas, I don't know, man. He's a good goalkeeper. He's a top goalkeeper. In terms of distribution, like if you want to play out from the back, I don't know. How does Nottingham Forest play? They just pump the ball up. No, I don't really think Nottingham Forest pumps the ball up, but I'm not really sure, man. I mean, when there's goalkeepers like Andre Onana and Emiliano Martinez and David Raya, let me know live chat what you think about Keylor Navas as a potential goalkeeper. Yeah. Yeah, when there's those other goalkeepers, I'd probably opt for them. Lukaku wants to stay at Inter Milan, no matter the Chelsea manager. Joe Shields commented on Moses Caicedo. There you go. So that's a little bit of a recap on that. We've already touched on the Ugarte news. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Man United and Mason Mount. Mason Mount, ladies and gentlemen. What a topic. What a topic. Look. This is how I see it. No banter, no joke, real talk now. For me, if Mason Mount truly wants to stay at Chelsea Football Club, truly, proper Chelsea, right? Proper Chelsea that he says that he is. He loves the club, boyhood club. Honestly speaking, he would do every little bit to stay at Chelsea Football Club if that's the case. I find it hard to believe that Chelsea can find a deal for Reece James, can find a deal for Chalobah. This is all under the new ownership, by the way. Reece James, Chalobah, Thiago Silva, Ben Chilwell. We're in negotiations with N'Golo Kante. I find it hard to believe that if Mason Mount truly wanted to stay at Chelsea Football Club, that we can't find him a deal. That we cannot find him a deal. I find that strange. Wasn't it that long ago where Chelsea apparently were offering him 1-year contract extension? I mean, literally, it wasn't that long ago, right? Just a week ago, we heard the news that Chelsea apparently offered him a 1-year extension just to give Chelsea a bit of time to work with the whole situation of not being part of Europe next season, some players taking a pay cut. We want to reduce our wage structure. So if Mason Mount truly wants to be at Chelsea, Compromise, man. Come to a middle ground. If Mace wants, let's say, 200K, for argument's sake, if Mace wants 200K, and Chelsea says, like, look, we can probably give you about 150. Come to a middle ground, man. Agree upon like 170, 175K. Agree on that 1 year extension just for the time being. You never know what can happen next season. We may come back into European football again. If you truly love Chelsea so much, then you will find your way. Like, personal opinion from, and I'm pretty sure you guys can all connect to this as well. If you truly want something in your life, if I truly want something in my life, I'll find a way to get it. Yes or no, live chat? If you truly want to stay somewhere, want to do something, you'll find a way to do it. Let's be honest. Mace, he don't want to stick around at Chelsea for what Chelsea's offering. He don't want to compromise. And I get some people are saying he doesn't have to compromise. He deserves it. Here's the thing. We got new owners now. Everything Mace did was with the previous owners. This is why he's a victim of the circumstance. Mason Mount is the victim of the circumstance. Mace should have done a contract extension when the previous owners, Roman, were around. Roman, Marina, and all of that lot. Mace should have done a contract extension then. He would have got his bags because that ownership was just handing out money. He would have got the bags, much like Kai Havertz, much like all the other players. Now, it's not the case anymore. These are new owners. And to a certain degree, they've stuffed up in many areas. But in this scenario, with Mason Mount, I don't think they are the biggest factor to blame. As I said, if Mace truly wants to stick around at Chelsea Football Club, he'll find a way to stick around. I don't see any issues with that 1 year contract extension just to buy some time. But if Mason Mount has a very good deal from Liverpool or Arsenal or Man United, see you later. See you later. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. This is no hate. This is no malice. This is no animosity. I think Mason Mount is a very good player. I think there is some value to have with Mason Mount at Chelsea Football Club. I think Pochettino could work with Mason Mount, could be an important player. But we have to agree, he ain't no finished product. There is a lot of development that still needs to happen with Mason Mount. A lot. He's not guaranteed for regular start. So can Mace agree on all of these things? If you can agree, then you'll find a way to stay. I agree 100% with you, Miz. If you love the club, you are ready to compromise in a season where we are at losses. We are low and rebuilding. If we get 80 million, emotions aside, let go of Mount with the best wishes. Yeah, man. The likes of Mount, Kovacic, and Ziyech doesn't see themselves made for being on the bench for too long, so they want to play time, and they don't get it at Chelsea. Yeah, Kovacic is another one. Kovacic, there's rumors about Kovacic potentially going to, links with Man United. Whether he goes there or not, I'm not really sure. But Kovacic is another one. You can tell he probably don't feel for Chelsea anymore, Kovacic. I get it, man. He was hurt. 100% he was hurt when Thomas Tuchel got sacked. He was definitely hurt. And that's fine. Kova, you've given us everything. Much like Mason Mount, you've given us everything. If you guys want to move on, move on. We need to move on, and we will move on as a football club. We will move on. We need good planning. Poch comes in, and we just need to galvanize again. Top Dog RLG, once again, thank you so much for the super chat. I'd prefer Mount to stay, but we'll be fine. We have Chukwuemeka that has looked better than Mount this season, as well as Andres Santos. So we watched again last night, and he is a real deal 100%. There you go. The future is there. The future is 100% there. Now, in regards to the match, ladies and gentlemen, Man United versus Chelsea, look, what can I say about the match? It don't mean nothing to me. I was disappointed at Frank Lampard's lineup against Man City. I'm pretty certain I'm going to be disappointed again with Frank Lampard's lineup against Man United. We'll do the watch along. I wanted some of the young players to get more time. Definitely Chukwuemeka being one of them. David Dutra Fofana. I really don't want to keep seeing Kai Havertz up front. It's a shame. Keeps making himself look like a fool, I suppose. But I don't blame him. I blame the manager for keep selecting him. I want to see Madueke to start. I did want to see Mudryk, but off the back of that shenanigans, he needs to learn something about his attitude first. So Mudryk can just take a bit of a chill pill for this one, and maybe we'll look at it against Newcastle. And I understand, look, first of all, in life no limits exactly means if Mount really cared about the club and seeing how dire things are with FFP, etc., he would stay. He's simply fighting for his money, and that's okay, but no proper Chelsea BS from fans. Yeah, look, people call him Money Mace. I think now I get it why they call him Money Mace. It's about the money. Why all of a sudden Man United? Because I know Man United, out of Arsenal and Liverpool, Man United are the ones that are going to be able to pay the most money. Simple as. Liverpool ain't going to break the wage budget. But going back to the Mudryk scenario, ladies and gentlemen, few people commented, like a majority that know me, know my personality, know what this channel is about. They understand. And majority of the comments on yesterday's video on Mudryk were supportive of what I had to say. I do understand there are certain individuals that didn't think too deeply about that Mudryk situation. They thought, do you know what, it's just a bit of fun and games, man. It's not that deep. Look, we as individuals, there's nearly 300. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, nearly 300 of you guys are live right now. Smash the like button. Please smash the like button. Let's pump those likes up to 100 immediately. And if you're here for the first time, make sure you subscribe. Pump those likes up to 100 straight away. We've got more than enough people. Myself, to all of you guys in the live chat, we're all different. We all have different principles in life. We're all different stages in our life. I'm 37. I'm going to be 38 next week. It's my birthday coming up on Monday, 29th May. Some of you guys might be in your teenage years. Some of you guys might be in your mid-20s. And some of you guys might just be, starting off in your 30s. And there are some actually that are much, much older than me in their 40s, 50s, 60s that I see in my comments. We all have different principles in life. For me, what I saw Mudryk do, that was foul. And a lot of people are saying, oh, but Miz, you wouldn't have bat an eyelid if Joey Swole didn't do that video. How do you know? I didn't even see it. The first time I saw it was from Joey Swole. Had I seen Mudryk's Instagram story, I still would have been quite annoyed about that. Because where's your mindset? Where's your mentality, brother? You should be focused on preparing a match for Man United. You're going to the gym, you're working out, and you're taking the mick out of another individual that is trying to work out with a personal trainer, and you thought just a little bit of bum crack showing, let me video that. Like, do you understand how silly this sounds? Getting your camera out and you're videoing, let me zoom in on that. Yep, that's nice. That bum crack's beautiful. And then you want to upload that on Instagram. Doing that on its own is ridiculous. And you could have kept it to yourself. You could have shared it with your friends and had a laugh. Even that is wrong. But to then upload it to 1.4 million followers on your Instagram, this is what I mean. I have principles in life, and my principles changed over years. When I was 16, when I was in my teenage years, my principles were different. Maybe when I was younger, I'd probably be looking at this and I'd be laughing. I'd be thinking, Mudrik, you funny man. But as I've grown up, this thing is not funny, man. This is body shaming. And what type of a role model are you playing for the kids that look up to Chelsea players? Do you know what I mean? So, look, this is why Enzo Fernandez is big for me. He's big. And this is another reason why I don't like idolizing players. And this is a message for all of you guys as well, ladies and gentlemen. Don't idolize these players, man. You don't know what these players are doing behind your back. No need to idolize. Enjoy them as footballers, enjoy them for who they are, and let it be there. Idolize other people. Idolize other people in life, man. People in your family, if you think they're worthwhile idolizing, follow them. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, coming back to this match, look, no point. Man United, I think, just needs... Man United, I think, needs 1 point to make it to Champions League. They're most likely going to get it at home. I can't even be bothered doing a lineup. There's just no point in doing all of this stuff now. Seriously. There's absolutely no point in doing it. Obviously, we're going to do a watch-along. So make sure you're there for the watch-along. We're going to start an hour and 5 minutes before the kickoff will start. My prediction for this particular match, I believe we're going to lose... I don't know, 2-1. Yeah. And then hopefully come Sunday when the season's over with Newcastle, and that's it. And say goodbye to this season. See you later. And hopefully Poch comes. The announcement for Poch happens straight after that. And we can start focusing on our future, because it's going to be a mad next season, man. It is going to be a mad next season. This summer is going to be mad. The preseason is going to be mad. And next season, no more videoing. No more videoing bum cracks. Next season, hard work. Hard work. Next season, trying to build a standard. Next season, I need leaders. I need players that I can go, do you know what? That's my club, That's my club. That's the bottom line. Stone Cold said so. Until next time, everyone, take care. I'll see you guys for the watch-along. Make sure you're there. Hopefully, it's going to be a fun watch-along with some goals. Maybe we score some goals. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, smash the like button before you go. Nearly 100. And if you're here for the first time, make sure you subscribe. Until next time, everyone, take care. See ya.